Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of City Skylines. Holy Moses guys, I've reached another milestone yesterday. It is the first time in 8 years of making videos that I gained over 200 subscribers in one day. This is a truly humbling experience. I'll tell you what, you keep on what you're doing to this channel and the City Skylines videos and I'm gonna keep providing as much as I can. And let me say this, I have really big plans for this series. This could be a very long-lasting one, and I'm gonna dedicate as much time to it as I possibly can. It's not always possible since I have a day job as a teacher and I also have a family, but they're very understanding and supportive of this, and I'm also trying to record most of the stuff when they are asleep, so a bunch of night shifts for me, but today it's Sunday morning and I have a bit of spare time, so let's do this. In between the episodes, I added a couple of things. First and foremost, I added some barracks here for the farming district. Each of these buildings increases the efficiency by 5% all the way up to 100%, I believe, so we can still build a couple more of those. I also started adding a couple of services in this district, such as healthcare, we have fire protection, we also have a police department, and I believe we even have an elementary school. No, I didn't give them a school yet, but maybe that's not even necessary right now. What is probably more important is a public transport for these people into the main parts of town. Another thing I started doing is the decoration of this district. You can see I fill it up with my famous trees. And it just makes so much of a difference. I don't want to exaggerate it everywhere, you know. There are also different decoration techniques other than trees, but trees are definitely my favorite. But you have to admit, it does make a difference contrary to what it looked like before. I'm really fond of this part now. I also changed these roundabouts to be highways with sound barriers, and hopefully these trees are gonna take care of the rest, so these people are actually happy and not disturbed by the noise. Then, if I remember correctly, yeah, we also have access to the large grain silos, so that means our farming industry has reached level 5 and is now producing quite a bit. You can see currently we have 24,000, almost 25,000 plus at times in weekly income. Not too shabby. Last time I also forgot to add the farm maintenance building, which is increasing our storage efficiency by a little bit. So, just as a side note there. Now for the more interesting parts, I added a couple of new factories. I had to rearrange this so I can fit everything. So now we have the warehouse right here, but more importantly, the slaughterhouse is a new building with 85 workspaces producing animal products. We're currently storing the animal products right here, and I think that's the only thing we're producing. Yeah, of course, the flour still. The flour is also stored somewhere here. Thinking about it, we could take the small warehouse here with the flour a little bit closer to the flour mill. But generally, I think we're okay. One thing we probably should do right away is electricity. The problem is at the moment we don't have a lot of wind. Is that right? Yeah, they're only producing half the power they're capable of at the moment. I think I still don't have any solar stuff. Oh, there is something here. Solar updraft tower. Wow, 2,200 upkeep. That is quite a lot, I have to admit. But it's 240 megawatts output. The geothermal power plant has 80 megawatts output and is only 1,000 upkeep. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go with the second one of these. So let's expand this road a little bit. Geothermal power plant, you go right there. And this should give me enough even in times of little wind. Keen observers will also have realized we now have a bunch more factories right here. This is the modular house factory. Right here I have the lemonade factory. This is the food factory. You can see all the requirements. And finally the clothing factory. For most of these factories we still need access to the other industries, but there are a couple of unique factories already running. Now I just saw the furniture factory only requires goods from the forestry industry, and I kind of did this differently here. I placed the bakery that only requires farming goods in said industry. And then I think the last thing that I did is I added a little bit of high density residential right here, as you can see. This improved my situation in terms of actually getting more people to join my beautiful town. One thing that has been pointed out is to move the deep space radar on top of a mountain, and I think I want to do this right away because it does indeed look weird in the industry area right there in the valley. We want this somewhere on top where it makes sense. in our unlocked area, we don't have a lot of mountains, so I think I'm just gonna add it right here until we have a taller mountain where it fits a little bit better. The question is, how do we get up this mountain? That is gonna be quite an endeavor. We probably want to do this more or less organically, kind of following the terrain here. I mean, that's how it's probably done in real life as well. We go with the flow of the terrain. Then maybe we can tunnel in just a bit right here because the terrain isn't really allowing me to do anything else. Then we want to get out here again. Okay, that's actually not too bad. I've seen roads similar to this in real life. And so we should be able to move this space radar right here. Yeah, definitely much better. I suspect you're gonna need a little bit of power. Do you also need water? I'm not sure. I hope not. No, they actually do need water. Ah, come on. Greedy bastards want all the luxury. Alright, here we have the furniture factory, and I'm using this warehouse yard apparently. Let's move both of these buildings, though I really like the arrangement. Not so sure. We could also think about moving the bakery over. Which one was it? Yeah, this one here. You know, everything that produces unique factory goods goes in the specialized industry, even though we have all the resources in this industry. Yeah, I'm actually really tempted to go for that solution instead. So this would go... this would fit perfectly here. Yeah, come on, let's do it. Let's do it and see what it does with the traffic. I mean, the traffic is gonna be slightly worse. We still haven't added all the public transport and the potential cargo trains that we can utilize to do this. Another thing worth mentioning is we can add another on and off ramp here to this highway, which is then gonna allow them to go into this area as well without congesting everything right there. Yeah, I think that was a good idea. This also means we're not producing any unique factory goods anymore. Do I see this correctly? Yes, so we can also take away this warehouse and move it over. You can go right there, actually. Great. Okay, this should be making a lot of money now. I mean, overall, not because I moved it. One more thing I've been thinking about is making this road here 2 ways instead of just a 1-way road, because the traffic is still gonna flow generally in this direction if we have these highways. So it might be worth observing that for a bit before we settle for the 6-lane roads, which are clearly exaggerated. Let's just go with a medium industry road for the time being. I want to see if this changes anything. Well, first and foremost, we have traffic lights that we want to remove. However, a lot of trucks won't have to do the crazy loops anymore. That means we also want to do the same thing here and the same thing there. Though I want to get rid of these traffic lights. Thank you very much. If you remember, once we placed the silos in the previous episodes, by the way, I counted to 6 here. I'm not sure how that happened. I can count to 8. But we've seen so many trucks coming in at once, and that is because of the setting here balanced. If we don't have it balanced, which means halfway full, that simply means the ingredients are gonna be imported. So these trucks were actually coming from outside the city trying to balance out the silo. There's your explanation. I'm learning so much from you guys. I decided to improve the situation for our forestry industry by granting them access right here via the highway, so they don't have to do too many loops, and they can also hop on the highway from the factory area if they wish to do so. Now it is my intention to balance things out a little bit. We have 120 tons output of raw forestry goods. This means we should probably add more factories, especially, the sawmill. That's one thing I want to add another one of, and I think I'm gonna move that over here, actually. So we currently have the wood chip storage over here, and I kind of would like to exchange these 2 buildings. So you come over here. Actually, that doesn't fit. Can we move the main building here? Why are the barracks so huge with this? Yeah, actually, you know, if something has to go, it's the barracks. So I think I'm just gonna move them over here instead. Please come. Oh no, we don't have enough space. Just a tiny bit. This game is killing me. Well then, I'm gonna move even more stuff for a costly price. Now we can start with the maintenance building here, and then there are gonna be a couple of barracks. Let's maybe increase the size of my district first. Barracks, move over here. Now I wonder, these are pretty huge. Does it have the same effect as on the farms? Yeah, work efficiency by 5%. So holy Moses, we can build a lot of these. I'm gonna add 2 more or so if I can, not in industry area. This is quite annoying. Then I'm gonna place my main building right here. That should be fine. I don't think this is frequently used, to be honest. And now finally I can move my wood chip storage to where I wanted it, right there. We should have the space for another sawdust storage that I'm gonna add here. And then maybe if we move the fire station, I think I'm gonna do that too. We have even more space. Hold on, is this not connected? Wow, that's kind of weird. Huh, interesting. How does that even happen? Let me try to... yeah, there we go. There was space for another log yard, and if we're lucky, we can add even more of these. No, I don't want to move it. I want to place another one. Totally fits. No problem whatsoever. Great, so now we have our storage right here and our factories and maintenance buildings on the other side. That makes so much more sense. Diving into the factories, we have 2 factories producing lumber mill and 2 factories producing the paper so far. With our new plans, I guess I want to move my geothermal generators over here. And after that, I guess I just want to copy all the factories. Where's my 4th factory actually? There should be a 4th one. Yeah, we're missing the engineered wood plant. I have none of these placed down at the moment. Let me see, pulp mill. Could we maybe start with that? So I'm just gonna add another one on the opposite side, and then we also want the other large factory, which was the biomass pellet plant. Actually, let me rearrange this so we can have the same setup, just 2 factories next to each other, and we will have doubled our profit. So, one of you please, thank you. Then we have the space for 2 sawmills, and I think I want to have a road in between, just for the looks. This district I definitely want to look more like a grid than others. And then if we manage to free up 2 more spaces, something like that, we should be able to place the other factory, the engineering wood plant, right there and there. And because I want things to look really nice, I'm going to adjust the size of my district. Lovely. Unpause the game. Let's see how that's working out. Let me actually see. We might need... ooh, yeah, let me think about that. We might need more storage spaces for intermediate materials. Like, we could store paper and we could store plant timber. Other stuff we don't need, so that's all we need. 2 storages. How large is the large warehouse? Wow, this is insane. Medium might already be no, it's not exaggerated. Let's freaking do this. I want 2 medium warehouses just like that. One is gonna be, not flour, one is gonna be paper, and the other one is gonna be plant timber. Finally, let's make sure everyone is happy with the services. Wait, I went a little too far here. Let me actually make a pedestrian pathway here. We should add those anyways. Right there and there. Then one pedestrian pathway I forgot about was this one here. We want a connection from this side all the way over to the parallel street. This is connecting, great. So now people can also walk there. Good, now we only have to observe this, whether or not this is going down. We want as few tons as possible just to be exported. We want to refine the goods and sell them for more money. Once again, a lot of trucks are coming from the outside of the city in order to fill up the newly placed storage areas. So no worries there. Let me have a quick look at my public transport. It's increasing. The buses are still approximately the same numbers. We also didn't experience a massive change with the tram line. Is it time to install a metro or a train? I don't think we have access to the trains yet. Yeah, they're grayed out. We could do a metro. Ferry doesn't make sense yet. Planes also don't make sense yet. What's our traffic doing? 91%, so it decreased a little bit. It just popped up to 92% there. Last time I checked, we were still at 96%, but it looks as though the situation calmed down here a little bit. It's definitely not optimal and will have to be considered in the future. Let's actually downgrade all of these roads, or upgrade, I don't know, into industry roads. I kind of like the look of them, especially in the industry area. Good. We need 1,000 more people. Maybe we're gonna upgrade a tiny part of another district. I kind of don't want to touch these guys. I mean, it doesn't fit to me to have high density next to the farming area. But maybe a little piece like this. We could just eradicate this and swap it into high density. I don't want to go too crazy with this because I built this with low density in mind. I made this configuration here intentionally stronger because I knew this is going to be a larger district. Yeah, let's actually keep to this one. We're gonna upgrade this part here to high density. Initially getting rid of people, but then allowing for more to join. This might even be enough to get up to 11,000. Et voila! As predicted, it was actually enough to get us to 11,000 people. We unlocked the train, finally, a whole bunch of interesting policies. So now I think it's definitely time to zone the various districts and take care of the policies. We now also have access to the cable cars, finally! That's gonna be fun. And a yoga garden, I needed that. Woo! What is happening? Is this... oh no. Well, better late than never. I'm gonna add one of these fire watchtowers. We might want to add one in this place as well. And then I'm gonna need the fire helicopter depot. There's a little bit of noise pollution from it, not too bad. I think I'm just gonna plot that down right here for the time being. Let's observe these guys. What are you doing? Come on. Yeah, there we go. 3 helicopters in use and no electricity. Oops. I mean, it's not too bad. The forest is gonna recover, but I would like to, you know, finish this fire. At least these guys are still happily being educated and nobody is bothering taking another pathway. There we go. There's the helicopter taking care of the fires. Beautiful. Yeah, maybe we should protect us a little bit better from these things. Let me go into emergency services, disaster services. We already have a disaster response unit. Oh, there's the large emergency shelter. Let's get one of those in the joint. People are gonna be quite happy about it. We're also gonna set up a tall radio mast right there, and I think that means we can take this one apart. We also want a weather radar. This covers the entire city, so you go right there. Great. Now hopefully we're gonna be protected a little bit better. Or maybe not. Oh, Jesus. This is insane. Okay. Guys, contain the fire. I wonder if these guys can actually make use of the tank reservoir. Maybe let me know. If you do know this, let me know. For now, I'm just gonna add one in the hopes they can. Well, I'm not really surprised. I had to add the freaking forest. I deserved it. But you can see it's already recovering here, and none of the buildings, well, they are affected of course, but the buildings are being taken care of by the fire trucks. Let's actually follow this guy. I wonder, where are you going to collect water? All the way to the freaking river. Yeah, that's not gonna work out. There's gotta be a way to collect the water quicker. On the other side, the water does last for a while, but there we go guys, that's basically our first natural disaster, just by spreading fire. I'm glad that pretty much no one is impressed by this. Before I forget to mention, I fixed a couple of things here in order to make the traffic flow more smoothly. I'm not sure if that has actually worked out, but I'm gonna explain more to it once I've made my final decision about this. Good, looks like the fire is over. Soon enough, this area is gonna look more beautiful again. Now to wrap up this episode, we're going to add a bunch of districts, of course. So all of the livable space right here is gonna be our first district. And now it comes to you guys to actually suggest a bunch of names. I'm just gonna call this question mark until we have a better name. I'm gonna choose whatever I like the most the next time in the comment section. Let's check out policies for this district. Do we want to improve on something? We could reduce the garbage for a little less tax income. I think I'm actually gonna do that since I don't wanna go with landfill sites all over the place. And the incineration plant we only get at 17,000. Look at this, educational blimps. Oh, this is so silly. Some of these policies. Preferred parks doesn't sound too bad. It's just 100 more per park. And it will draw 10% more visitors. I think I'm gonna choose that. Good, that's pretty much all I want for the services. Let's have a look at the taxation. Does raising the taxes have a negative impact on the happiness? It doesn't even mention it here. Yeah, I mean, there's gotta be an advantage to raising or lowering the taxes here. Maybe I'm just gonna let go of leisure. Ah, so we could make tiny districts with no tax income, but an entertainment boost. Okay, let's leave this category alone and go to city planning. Encourage biking sounds good. I guess if they can take the bike, they should. And other than that, I don't see anything that makes sense. Maybe the lightning rods could make sense, but we have a good fire department, and thunderstorms are usually not that much of a problem. Naturally, we want to do the same thing for this district. This is going to be called Old Town, so for this one I don't really need suggestions. Old Town Road. We're gonna set up the same policies, recycling and prefer parks. And in city planning, we want encourage biking. For now, these are good policies. Checking the forestry industry again, we now have more workers here, that's good. We still only have 24 tons output with the timber and 16 with the paper. What's going on there? Maybe we didn't let enough time pass just yet. Right here, this is actually going really well with the animal product. It looks as though we could improve our flour production. Yeah, sure, let's go ahead and add another flour mill. Can I fit it right there? Beautiful. Cool. I think with that out of the way, we're gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you soon. Bye-bye.